Okay, get ready to kick yourself, because you're going to be shocked what is the major cause of most core web vital errors on a WordPress website.
Oh, always wanted to do that.
Today I think I should start off with a philosophical statement from one of my old mentors. To know and not to do is not yet to know. One important thing is that when you learn something new, you must take action. If you want to get results, the best results, you must take action, action, and action. So today, at the end of this video, take action. Yoo-hoo! The number one cause of most Google Core Web Vital errors is, wait for it, images. But you probably knew that, didn't you? But as I said earlier, to know and not yet to do is not yet to know. Whoa! Hey, I should stop having so much fun in these videos. I'm having way too much fun. Today, let's have a chat about, start off with chatting about images. Just as a background info, a refresher for those who already know about it, and if you're a newbie, basically some brand new information. Then let's go on to talk about how images actually are one of the main creators of core web vital issues. And let's finish off then with 3 tools that can help you fix these core web vital image issues. How does that sound? Sound really cool? Yoo-hoo! Let's get stuck in. Yay, let's do it. Okay, there's 3 types of images that are used on the web these days. JPEG, PNG, and WebP. JPEG is basically used for images in general, photographs. PNG is used for better quality images where you want also maybe transparency in the background. And if you've got a high quality photography site, you might be using PNG images versus JPEG images because you want a quality focus. WebP is actually Google's image format that's just come in the last few years. It's becoming fairly popular, but not super popular. And WebP basically gives you the best of both worlds between PNG and JPG. Now, when you upload an image into WordPress, it actually produces multiple image formats. Let me take you into WordPress and have a look. If you come into here, go into settings, click on media, it'll actually show you the specifics that are created here. So you got 1, 2, 3 basic formats. And of course, there is the final format, which is the original image source. So what it does is when WordPress uploads an image or you upload an image, it creates 4 images of the actual original image. So the smaller images are actually created at the point of upload, which is really cool, saving you a lot of time. Now, when somebody comes to your website, they're going to be using a device. It could be a desktop, it could be a mobile, it could be an iPad, you have no idea. The browser has to take care of all this. This is actually called something called a viewport. And as a web developer, your web developer needs to be aware of all this stuff and basically create the correct code, the CSS, to actually display the images at the correct sizes. This is all to do with what's called responsive web design. This makes sure that whatever device somebody is visiting and viewing your website on, it looks great at whatever device it's on. Now, there's a massive amount of information to do with web images these days. It's not a small field, it's very, very complicated. It's not straightforward. That's why your web developer basically is the go-to person to actually ask a lot of this information about. But you might want some ammunition information to actually help you on the way so that you know what you're talking about and don't look silly in front of them. Now, put together a very, very comprehensive document about this. Now, if you want access to this, it's normally available on a paid subscription. You can get access to it for free as part of a viewer of this channel. Check out this link here, getus.at/Affyboy-images. And that will help you with a lot of the information that you might not be aware about with images and get you up to speed with images and responsive web design and Viewport and all those other amazing things. How cool, great. So the main reason why often images are the big cause of a lot of problems with Google Core Web Vitals is that usually the wrong image is actually used for the wrong viewport. An example being the desktop image, use it on a mobile view. So you can imagine if your desktop image is 200 kilobytes, on a mobile, if that's the same image is used, then the image should only be about 20 kilobytes. That's why now with Google being mobile first, that it's focused on mobile speeds because more and more people are using mobile as the viewing device. So that means the viewport is very small. So if you display desktop images on a small viewport, it's going to be very, very slow to load. This is why Core Web Vitals, the main issue, is actually images. And it's a fairly easy one to solve. But, as mentioned earlier on, it's a pretty complex issue these days, depending on your theme and how your your page is coded and so on. So do talk to your web developer and check out that link. It's in the description down below for that document so that you can understand a lot more about how images are handled on the web and in WordPress in 2021 and beyond. It's a really comprehensive document. Okay, let's first of all look at the first one, which is CSS Scan. You can actually go to getters.at/CSS Scan to actually get to this page. And what it is, it's a paid extension for Firefox and Chrome and a number of other different browsers. What it does is allows you to inspect the CSS code that's underneath your HTML page. It's really a developer tool. So that gives you a lot of information that you may not need as a newbie, but as you develop and you actually do more with your websites, it will actually get you some incredible information to you very, very fast. It's a powerful tool. And it does give you a lot of information about images. Let me give you a quick demo. Here on the page, you can actually scroll down and immediately you can see all the CSS. Let me go to an image. So over here you can see that this image is 50 by 50 and that there's 2 HTML elements. I'll hit the space bar, come into here, and it'll actually give you all the elements and the actual file source name here. So that's great. And the great thing is that you can copy the code and there it is. Pretty cool. You've got instant access to the code. In the past, to get the same sort of information, you've had to go into developer tools, which is available under View Developer Tools, and Firefox is very similar. And it gives you access to all these different elements. Click up here and it'll tell you what's going on and it'll give you all the different stuff. So it's really good. If you don't know about this, it's really powerful, but a bit confusing, a bit complicated, a lot of information. It takes a little bit of learning. So CSS Scan will actually give you all that information without actually having to go into developer tools. So how cool is that? Let's look at the second tool now, which actually is another browser extension. This one is called Image Size Check. Now the beauty of this one is it's free, Yahoo! We love free. And it's, I think, only available on Chrome. Now it's only on version 1.0 as you can see here. Now there is a risk that they may not extend this, they may not develop it, may not be available on Firefox and so on. So that's part of the challenge that you'll have with this, but it's a really good tool. Let me show you how this one works. As you can see here, it's actually color boxing the actual images. As I scroll down, you can actually see it's giving it a color code. If you come down here and view the actual on the web store, on the Chrome web store, it'll give you a lot more information. It'll give you a breakdown of what the color code actually is for the different things. And here it is, green, yellow, and red. So as you can see, the green is that basically the actual container that the image is going into is exactly the same as the image, which is normally what you need to do. And the yellow and red give you the undersize and oversize. So this is a brilliant little tool to actually have a play with your images and be able to actually see what's oversized, what's undersized, and give you some really good ammunition to talk to your web developer for. So let's take a look at gtmetrix. It's a great tool and it's a speed benchmarking tool that also uses the Core Web Vitals as part of its actual metrics. You should register and sign up. It's free and it also gives you a great number of different extra benefits such as weekly scans and monitors and so on. So it's really cool. I've got 4 reports here. Let's go through these 4 reports and actually look at how it can be used for image management, so to make your life really easy and simple. And this will allow you also to actually learn some really cool stuff about gtmetrix, which you should be using for your speed and benchmarking testing. It's so much better than Google Lighthouse. Google Lighthouse is great, but this is a far better tool for benchmarking. Okay, let's have a look at the first one. It's got a grade A, great. Come over here and click on the waterfall tab and scroll down. And immediately you'll see all the different tabs over here in the center. That allows you to filter down the content items, the resources, based on what you want to see. Scrolling down here, you can see there's 12 requests to this page, so it's going to load very fast. There's very little being loaded. But we can actually come over and just look at the images. And we can see here that there's 4 images being displayed, 4 out of 12. Now, a word of warning. It's showing 4 images here, but there may be more images on the physical page because lazy loading might be used. Now, if you don't know what lazy loading is basically when the page loads, then and as you scroll down the images are only loaded as you scroll down. So it only loads the top few images, and then as you scroll, it loads them as they go. So gtmetrix will only pick up the images that are immediately loaded on the initial page load. Let's take a look at this first one here, and spacepatterns.png. So it's giving you an information. If I click on the line, it will tell you a lot more information down here. Some of it's quite technical, but some of it's useful. It tells you the image type here. And if we actually use this little technique, we can actually sort on the actual columns. So I'm going to do that now, and you can see that I've got 169 kilobytes as my biggest image. If I open that up in a new window, you can see here what the actual physical image is. So that's the banner image at the top, and you can see with a plus that it's actually zoomable, but not much. So right away we can actually see that it's a JPEG, and that we can actually see what the physical image is all about. In this case, this image is probably about size. I could probably reduce it, but it may not be able to be reducible that much. But it's a fairly big image, even for a banner image. Let's have a look at the next one. Close these down, come into here, come into the waterfall, and we do the sort straight away. And we can see that we have a 74-byte font file. And then now the images are not that clear. There's one here by the looks of it. So let's filter the images, and we can see that we've got one at 41 kilobytes. If we have a look at that and see what it is, we can actually see that it's a WebP image. So this is a vector form image from Google, and it's a reasonable size image for 41 kilobytes for that physical size. So that's not oversized, that's pretty good. So we're great. Yoo-hoo! Let's have a look at one more. Come into this one, click on the waterfall tab, scroll down, click on the size, click again to get it biggest to best, biggest to smallest. And you can see right away we've got one image and we don't know what the suffix is. So I'm going to click on the plus, scroll down, and this is where this is useful. It's a WebP image. So straight away I've got an alarm bell running because this is a pretty big image for a WebP, 129 kilobytes. I'm going to open it up and see what it physically looks like, and that's a big image. Now I know that that's been oversized for the actual site because it's not being displayed at that size on the actual web page itself. If I come and have a look at the web page, you can see immediately that that image is basically a different size. That's the actual image, and that's what it's been displayed at. Now I'm a fairly high resolution screen here, but of course I'm not a super high resolution screen, and you can see that there's a warning sign. So it's certainly something to go talk to your web developer about it, giving you a ammunition to go and play and talk. If I come back in here, I can see that everything else is looking fairly good. Let's have a look at now at one more, and I'll give you another little tip. Close those down. Now this has got a B rating, so that's sort of like maybe a problem. Let's go into waterfall and scroll down, and straight away we can see that everything's sort of looking okay, but we can see this image here is 37 kilobytes. I'm going to open it up, and it's a pretty big image, so it's probably not oversized. But how could we check? What's another quick check to see if this is oversized? Well, let me show you that one using tinypng.com. Save the image onto your desktop. So I'm going to call this test so I can find this easy. Done that before, so I'll just replace it. Come into tiny.png.com, load that image, and on the left it tells me the source side size, and on the right the potential reduced size, compression. It's not been able to compress it, so it's a good image. So that's your quick test using tinypng.com. Now, free service, it does JPEGs too, even though it says tinypng. And then if you want to download it, you can download it from there. So that's really cool. Hopefully you're getting some great value so far. Woohoo! See you in a second. So thank you very much for watching so far. You've obviously must have been getting value if you've actually reached this point. If you have got a lot of value, you know what to do. That helps us share the channel and get more people watching the videos so that we can help more people get to the top and stay at the top, which is what all Affyboy is all about. Let me know in the comments about what you enjoyed the most about this video today. It'd be really good to hear what your thoughts were. So thank you again for watching to this point today. I really appreciate you doing that. I've actually been doing IT and business now for 30 odd plus years. So that's why I'm sharing a lot of my experience here on Affyboy, to help people get to the top literally and stay there. I've experienced being at the top and I've lost being at the top. So I want people to actually get the best benefit from all the knowledge that I have so that they can stay at the top and keep on doing more with less. So thank you again, and I'll catch you in the next video. Yoo-hoo!